What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Monday, by the way. Hopefully the start of your week is going well. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the progressive events that are going to be happening for CVC. Usually there is always these types of events during CVC. If you guys are around on YouTube tomorrow, I will be streaming CVC shortly after it starts, so make sure you guys drop on by. It would be the first CVC of 2026. It's going to be personal rewards, and we haven't had CVC in a couple weeks, so it'll be nice to hang out with everybody there. Without further ado, let's jump into the progressive event news for today. We got the list right here. This Tuesday, January 13th, we're planning to launch progressive events, giving you a 15x, X15 chance to summon the champions of your choice from ancient, primal, sacred, and void shards. So nothing fancy there. Keep in mind that 15x means that they're basically putting 15 copies of the champion into the total pool of champions. I'm not sure the exact count of non-void legendaries, but there's at least 200 of them, giving you about a 7.5% chance of pulling your desired champion for the non-void. So first of all, on the day one, we got Aislinn, the Stalwart. He is the faction unity champion for the Banner Lords. He's really strong. Obviously, if you have a Bannerlord team consisting of Taras and Marichka, he brings block damage as well. He's just a crazy support champion. And yeah, since he's a faction unity champion, he's pretty exclusive. After that, we have one of the Assassin's Creed champions, and that's going to be Edward Kenway. Edward was the one that I was most excited about because his kit kind of makes the most sense. But after hearing some initial news on him and seeing some of the video playtesting on him, it just doesn't seem like his damage is going to be up to par. He has an A3 here, which sounds really, really good. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. He places Perfect Veil on himself, and then this attack will ignore a shield, a stone skin, and block damage, and it has a block revive. Now, this ability doesn't hit hard enough, unfortunately, and his A2 looks also really good as well. It's on a three-turn cooldown ability. The double hit AoE, the first hit steals all the buffs from the enemies and decreases their turn meter by 20%. And then because he has Veil from this ability that he can place on himself, it makes the effects irresistible. And then the second hit has a 100% chance of placing Sleep. And then the Sleep will ignore block debuffs if the attack is critical, which it should be because you want to build him with damage. And then this effect is irresistible if he has Veil. And again, he can Veil himself, which is amazing. So an ability like this on a damage dealer is pretty rare. It's a really high effect, high impact ability, but it's on a damage dealer. Usually you see these kind of moves on supports. So he also has a damage boost from this passive. It does require a little bit of a setup, I guess, because he does place Ensnare on the enemy, and then he gains a damage boost on ensnared targets. It's a good kit overall, but I think he's pretty hampered here by how much damage he can actually do. The multipliers are probably just not there. Personally speaking, I haven't had a chance to play test him yet, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll try to get that out for you guys as soon as I can, but he's going to be up for grabs for the progressive day one. After that, we do have Stultus from the Banner Lords as well. Great Dragon, hard 10 kind of champion. He can solo the boss without much effort, to be honest. His passive is what kills the boss. It reflects the damage back to the boss. It doesn't require accuracy. He doesn't really require books either if you just want to use him for this kind of dragon killing passive. Otherwise, he's a pretty decent champion. He doesn't hit particularly hard compared to like the best nukers, but he does do decent. He is defense based as well, so he can take a hit, and he's going to be up for grabs as well on day one. After that, we have, I guess we're doing Banner Lords on day one. We have Kaja the Rye. Decent speed booster here. Also brings a revive. Has a decent speed in all battles. Aura, 112 base speed. You can definitely build her as your fastest champion, and then use her as a turn meter boost champion. For example, 20% turn meter boost here with a bit of a cleanse. Her partner in crime, Timid the Fool, is also here as well. Timid, where is he? Timid the Fool, yeah, there he is. He's not particularly great by himself, but with Kaja, he gets a lot better. If no enemies with active buffs, grants an extra turn. Also grants an extra turn if Kaja is on the team. So he can go into this ability, which decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 3 turns, basically taking off all the buffs. And then he goes into an extra turn and then CC everybody with his spear. Very, very annoying champion, but not very good by himself. But with Kaja can be pretty cool. After that, we have a Titus here. Titus, also recent fusion, I guess, from last summer. Game changer for a lot of different areas. Obviously, insane damage for Clan Boss, Hydra Boss, Chimera Boss. But you do need Wixwell. So that's the big thing against him. He can be okay support, I guess, because then his passive on this ability allows it to be placed on teammates without any buffs. So he instantly gives them some buffs and he kind of protects him a little bit. But the big thing about him is his A2, which deals damage based on the size of your shields. And as we all know, this guy can deal a ton of damage in the right team. After that, we have Baron. Baron, old school, kind of big splash damage, AoE, big splash AoE damage dealer. He's Void Affinity. He can still deal that role, deal big damage, flash through all the enemies with his A1. But there's a lot of champions nowadays that can kind of do this ability. So he's definitely hasn't gained too much value over the time of the game. And then lastly, we have Raglan. She was buffed not too long ago, and her buff made her a lot better. She does have a single target revive here on a 2-turn cooldown, which is pretty nuts. 100% turn meter as well, and then it also decreases the cooldowns of all the skills by 3 turns, which is really really nice. She also has a 4-turn cleanse with accuracy and attack buffs with the big heal as well. It's a little bit long for a cleanse. Usually cleanses are 3 turns, but she does bring quite a bit of value on this cleanse. So they did make it 4 turns. And then the A1 gives turn meter boost, which is pretty nice. She also has a random passive here, which I guess can be pretty useful for her. So she's going to be up for grabs as well. I think personally speaking, like if you had to go for a champion, I think I'd probably go for Edward just because he's exclusive, or Aislinn because he's the faction unity champion. And of course, for the voids, if you're missing Titus, then of course it's going to be Titus. And then if you have to pick a void champion, then it's going to be Raglan. You have everybody else. But I will preface that all these progressive events are pretty big scams. The rates are not boosted; they're just standard rates. And the chance of you pulling your desired champion is very, very low. Moving on to day 2, so January 14th, there's going to be a progressive event on the following champions as well: Loseth, Venetia, White Queen, Ancora, Theodore, Cavalax, Pontiff. So that's going to be the big one. It's going to be the big new boss. He is only available through these types of events. So they made him a little bit more exclusive. But after the collab, he will be available generally in all the void shards in the game. So it's going to be Night Revenant themed. We have Loseth, the faction unity champion here. He's a little bit annoying. I mean, if you played a hard faction wars, you ran into him in a couple of waves. He can be pretty annoying and somewhat hard to kill with his unity bonuses. So he can kind of deal damage. He can kind of ignore your damage a little bit. He has some CCs. He has block damage. And then he has this kind of annoying HP equalizing, I guess. But it's more like a bring down and a turn meter down ability. It's pretty annoying. It's pretty powerful. It's on 5-turn cooldown. But he has a lot going on in his kit. Probably most useful for like siege teams and stuff. After that, we have Venalicia. She's actually pretty decent. She has a revive here, team revive with a lockout. Unfortunately, you can't use the lockout by itself, so you have to revive a champion to get the lockout ability to go off. She also has a strip here with the block buffs and a decreased defense. It's totally solid ability. I mean, on a 3-turn cooldown, her A1 places weaken as well, and her passive gives her a little bit of turn meter boost, and it also applies passively Pain Link. Decent base stats, pretty good overall support champion. Brings accuracy in all battles as well. After her, we have White Queen Ancora. Ancora is a very good champion. She was a past fusion. Speed in all battles. You got an A1 here that has a chance to reduce allies' skill by 2 turns. That's really strong. She's got a 3-turn cleanse here with the shield. She's got a single target revive with the full reset on the allies' skills, which is really strong. And her passive is actually really good too, where she basically takes away the hard CC from the champion with the highest crit damage. So it kind of guarantees that your nuker kind of can get a turn. Great base speed, very, very good support champion. And then we have Theodore the Savant. Theodore, still very good, brings lots of poisons, speed up, speed down, has the poison HP burn detonation, which is really good as well. Duration increasing as well in his kit. Accuracy in all battles, good base stats. He can solo a bunch of stuff. Generally pretty good in a lot of areas. He's going to be up for grabs as well. And then lastly, for the non-void champions, we have Calvalax. Calvalax, very good champion. He brings this big passive here, 4 poisons on all enemies at the start of each round. Mainly used for poison activation, poison detonation teams, because then he applies the poisons passively for waves. And he's also a great champion to bring in for the arena to tackle teams that don't have Stone Skin or don't have Barrel, for example. Then he'll just place the poisons on them, and then the poisons will just go off and then they die. So it's actually a really strong kind of strategy, but of course it's not foolproof because if you bring him in against teams that have Stone Skin, then he's not going to do anything. So that's going to be it for the non-voids. Let's head to the void champions, and this is probably the big one here. Pontiff, who's the boss champion for the event dungeon. Now, like I said, he's only available in these types of events, the boosted events, these exclusive events that mention him specifically right now. But he will be available after the collab is done, just like a regular champion. Let's check out his kit here. There's not too much coverage on him. His A1 blocks active skills on a single target. His A2 is a 3-turn strip with an ensnare, and then also a turn meter pushback with the conditional bigger pushback here. Ensnare basically shuts down all turn meter effects. So if it says 100% ensnare, then 100% of your turn meter effects are no longer effective on the champion. And then his A3 here places increased accuracy and intercept on your entire team with a turn meter fill and then extra turn. This is on a 4-turn cooldown, so effectively a 3-turn cooldown. It's actually really nice. I mean, you do this, get a turn meter boost on your whole team, and then you get an extra turn to go into the strip and ensnare. Unfortunately, ensnare is not like hard CC or anything. You much rather like have a full stun, strip and full stun, instead of strip and ensnare. So ensnare, it just shuts down the turn meter stuff from your opponent. They can still get a turn, they can still do their big abilities, etc., etc. You do have a turn meter pushback here, so you do need accuracy. So the increased accuracy here, nice. The passive is actually what makes him really, really strong. Allies receive 25% less damage from enemies under block damage, unkillable veil, perfect veil, stone skin buffs. So any of these buffs from the enemy, then your team takes less damage. This is the second part of his passive. Each time an enemy receives a buff, is healed, or has their turn meter filled, has a 50% chance to decrease the duration of all their buffs by 1 turn. That's huge. So he's kind of passively stripping off the buffs from the enemy because this stuff is going to happen all the time. Healing, getting buffs, getting turn meter fills. That's going to happen all the time. So it's passively just stripping off the buffs, right? So it's very, very insane passive, which makes him very, very appealing. Speed in all battles as well. It's a bigger speed aura, 24%. He has 110 base speed, which is really solid as well. So he can definitely be your speed champion or turn meter booster. I think he's a very good champion overall. Up next for the Void Champions, we have Hegemon. Hegemon's still similar kind of use case as Calvalax. You can sneak them into some teams and then try to nuke them down, like for example, speed teams, as long as they don't have Stone Skin or anything like that. Or you can have a crazy Hegemon, gear him out like crazy, give him cracking roots, and then have him go into Stone Skin. Anyways, I think I prefer Calvalax before Hegemon. If you have a team of Calvalax versus Hegemon, Calvalax actually goes first or places the poisons first, so then your Hegemon dies right away. It's kind of interesting interaction that way. And then lastly, for the Void Champions, we have White King Narses, which is the partner to White King Ancora. He still smacks quite a bit. He was a meta changer when he first came into the game. He has this AoE ability here that basically cannot be decreased. The damage cannot be decreased by enemy passives or masteries, which is pretty insane. So for example, if he fires this into like Rotos, he's just going to kill Rotos right away. He also gets the double hit. The extra hit is super crazy. So against shield and strengthen. And his passive here already ignores shield and strengthen. So yeah, if you run him into these champions with any of the shield or strengthen buffs, he's just gonna obliterate them. But yeah, he can still be pretty good, but I think with Ancora, I think that's where he shines the most. He can just basically constantly use this to bomb through. I miss this guy. He was a guaranteed Void champion back in the day, so I believe he was 110 Void shards, and then you just get him. which is absolutely insane. We didn't really think that they would offer a guaranteed champion of Narcisse's value or quality. And yeah, I totally missed out on this guy. I didn't have enough void shards, and that stung for a long, long time because of how meta Narcissus was when he first came into the game. Anyways, guys, so those are the champions for the 2 days. Keep in mind that there are 24-hour events. So one of the factions for each day. One will be Bannerlords, one will be Knight Revenant. Make sure you guys look at the not look, but make sure you guys pull on the correct day. For example, you guys are targeting a specific champion. Like I said, progressive events are very, very big scam events. Edward, obviously first event for Edward, and this is the first event for Pontiff. It's still early in the collab, guys. My suggestion would be just wait. You never know. One of these champions might be offered in a guaranteed way. Pulling shards for them for progressive events is just straight up gambling for them. You might end up with nothing. You might end up with something totally different. There's no guarantee that you get these champions, so I would just suggest to wait. In the past, Pontiff, the Void champion, was sometimes offered in a type of event like maybe winner take all, maybe a training event, maybe a champion chase event. Although for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collab, Leonardo, the Void champion as well, was offered in Heroes Path event. So we never know if that might happen in this collab as well. However, they didn't offer the Shredder in that way. I think they offered it as a winner take all for a champion chase, which might be the case for Pontiff as well. Edward, I think maybe could show up as some kind of guarantee as well. We don't know. Like I said, these progressive events are pretty big scams. I would definitely hold off all your shards and just wait for future events. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about this, what your plans are. Like I said, I will be streaming CVC tomorrow. Not at the start of it, but a couple hours after it starts because it's super early for me. So yeah, make sure you guys drop on by. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. Appreciate you all. Have a great one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.